Hi, this is a very basic video about Handy GPS. When you start up the app, you'll see that there's a pause button, red pause button at the top. If you press that, that'll start showing your current location. So currently it's showing you the easting and northing and UTM coordinates, but you can change that to that long if you prefer. The main page is the control panel for the entire app. It has all the functions you can use with buttons and a menu down the bottom there. So if you press the map button, you'll be taken to the map, which shows an aerial view by default. Your track logs are shown in red and your waypoints are shown as a red flag. So a waypoint is any point you record that has your location at a particular moment during your walk. And the track log is a trail that's recorded by the app as you move along. So track log shows you where you've been, and a waypoint is basically a point of interest that you've flagged along the way. So to create a waypoint, on the main page you can press the plus button and enter a description. For example, like that. The other way you can create a waypoint is you can long press on the map, and that will bring up the same dialog, and that just records the point at your current location. So the main pages of the app are the map page, which we've just shown, and this control panel page. In addition, there's a compass page, which shows you a true bearing, or you can change it to be a magnetic bearing if you prefer. And the other page is the go-to page. If you press the up arrow on the main page, you can choose a waypoint that you've previously recorded and click on that, and this page will guide you towards that destination. So it shows you at the top here the name of the waypoint, the distance to it, and this arrow points the direction that you need to go to get to that waypoint. So that's the very basics of Handy GPS. So in normal usage scenario, you would probably press this new session button at the top here, and you'd enter some name for the walk, for example, wherever you are walking. And once you've created that session, it will clear out the existing track points and waypoints and track logs that you've recorded. So if you don't want to do that, press no. But normally when you start a walk, you'd probably want to create a new session so that you don't get clogged up with too many of these waypoints and track log points. So you can also press the save button down the bottom here. You can choose to save the current walk as a KML or GPX, and that will prompt you for a file name, and that will store it locally on your phone. You can also press the open button here to import previously recorded walks. And the delete button here just lets you clear everything out, similar to the new session button. Along the bottom here, we've also got a torch button. If you press this, it will turn on the flashlight, which is handy if it's dark and you need to use the phone to walk through the darkness. Down the bottom here also we have a lot of settings, which you can change various things about the map pages and general settings. You can also manually enter a waypoint if you choose. So this is if you know the coordinates that you want to enter a waypoint for example, that long, and you can enter it there, and rather than creating it from the GPS location. You can take photos from the app with this next button along here. This stores the photos in the current session, and you can browse the photos using this browse photos button here to see which photos you've already recorded. And so on the main menu there's a lot of options. So you can email my current location, which basically sends someone your lat long location so they can know where you are. You can email the current data, which emails all the waypoints and track logs in the current session. You can email a selected file, which lets you browse to the files that you've already exported, and you can email them. Sun and moon times lets you see when the sun's going to rise and set, and similarly for the moon. Elevation profile shows you a profile of the walk, so you can see how high you've climbed. And there's quite a few other options here. If you press the About button down the bottom, it'll tell you which version of the app you're using. Yeah, so that's basically Handy GPS. There's a lot of features here. There's a lot of features that I haven't mentioned. So for example, on the waypoints menu, there's all these other options. You can find the distance between two waypoints with waypoint to waypoint, all sorts of things you can do. But that's just a basic introduction to Handy GPS. So I hope you find the app useful, and thanks for watching the video. Thank you.